I have not neglected my family's responsibilities. I have not committed adultery. I have not seduced the wife of any other man. Hello guys! Well, those were the 3 negative confessions about marital life in ancient Egypt from 42 negative confessions of Goddess Mad. By the way, the Goddess Mad was the goddess of every good thing in ancient Egypt, and today we're going to speak about marriage and divorce in ancient Egypt. At the beginning, we have to understand that marriage for the ancient Egyptian, it was completely an individual matter. The state took no interest in it at all, which means that it was no legalization, no official documentation for it as well. And of course, no formal ceremonies were held for the marriage. However, we believe that there was an informal ceremonies held by the family of the married couple, held for the two of them. The best description for marriage in ancient Egypt, that it was an agreement of cohabitation between a man and a woman with the intention of reproduce. The offspring was the most important thing for us. Not only for the ancient Egyptian, but for every single creature that live on Earth. Reproduction. If we don't reproduce, we're not going to live. We're going to extinct. However, unfortunately, and in some cases, divorce was the dissolution of the marriage. And divorce in ancient Egypt would have happened either voluntarily or by force, which was common, by the way, and we're coming to that point later on. Now, if we're speaking about marriage, we have to understand, guys, that marriage is always a true reflection for the society and the community. So for some cases, we're going to find that marriage in ancient Egypt was actually initiated by a man. Some other times, it was initiated by women, which will give us an idea of the understanding between the equality between the man and woman in ancient Egypt. However, we also believe that a man would have had the higher role, the leading role, in the whole process as of their visible role in the society. Not only that, but sometimes the parents of the woman, they have played a role in arranging the marriage between a man and their own daughter. A gift would be given by the man to the parents of the bride as well. Here, if we're speaking that marriage in ancient Egypt was not legalized by the state, so it was conducted by the society, and the society would conduct that a man will be always working outside of home, providing for the family, providing for the offspring, providing for the lady, providing for everything, and a woman would be more domestic. Chores, would be responsible about also the children, and would be the household manager. In that case, we have to understand, guys, that even though that was a social conduct, but a man also has to write a legal annuity to prove to his own lady that he's going to take care of her and the offspring as well. Not only that, but a woman would have the right in the marriage property, and believe it or not, in ancient Egypt, woman was the regular inheritor for the husband's property. In case of divorce, she's going to get 1/3 of the property. And if she was forced out of the property, even though that this marriage has no legal ground, but she can go actually into financial transaction and legal agreement on her own to get her part of the inheritance. Now, unfortunately, guys, our understanding about marriage and divorce in ancient Egypt is not complete, and we cannot say that we're going to get to a complete understanding for it, since we do not have a complete legalization for it, and our understanding comes from the very small cases that we had something went very wrong, that it had to be documented. And our understanding about what happened in case of divorce, we would find that divorce would have happened for 4 major reasons. The first one is going to be infertility. Infertility would be a deal breaker, since the intentions between a man and a woman in the past to get together for getting an offspring. So if you cannot get an offspring, we cannot continue together. However, in some cases, that found a workaround, a solution, and the solution for that was always to adopt. Believe it or not, 4,000 years ago, the ancient Egyptian, they had the adoption concept. The second reason, which was a big deal breaker, adultery. Now, no legal ground for the marriage, which means that any child you're getting from any relationship, it will not be legitimate and illegitimate. your son, your daughter is going to remain yours, and that's going to affect and threaten the member involved in that relationship in the inheritance that is going to come out of divorce as well. So it was a deal breaker. Adultery means divorce for the ancient Egyptian. The third reason is going to be physical defect. Or the fourth is going to be incompatibility. That would lead down to a divorce. Divorce would happen, and the ancient Egyptian, they will get the remarriage as well. Ancient Egyptian, they were always seeking to be impaired, to be in a couple. They are not going to have a single life. And that was the main intention, that he wanted to have it at the end to get married. Now guys, that was our little video about ancient Egyptian marriage and divorce. If you did like our video, like, subscribe, and share. That's going to support it, and we'll get our videos for more viewers. Bye!